Hey everybody, welcome back. So we've been taking a big hiatus. So we're going to talk about New Japan's recent events, Wrestle Kingdom 14 on both nights, New Year's Dash, also the Wednesday Night War, and many others. So let's start the new year with a big ass bang. So welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Alright, Nico.
Yes.
This year, we started the year with New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this one?
Oh, it's a Cinderella story, dude.
You know, like, people don't know this. Even if those who are watching who are big-time New Japans,
Yes.
and those who don't know, Wrestle Kingdom is the WrestleMania of New Japan. And, of course, it always starts out of the year, you know? Nothing like they do it on April.
Right.
But that's how they start. And it always starts with a bang. You know, so what are your thoughts about the first night?
Night one? Oh, man. I honestly like night one more than night two.
I feel the same way. I just felt like night two didn't give me that big impact.
Nah, I was just, I kind of just waited for the double champion match with night two. But night one, surprise, surprise, the Naito match wasn't my favorite.
The one with Jay White?
Yes, that wasn't my favorite. But for me, the show stealer was what I predicted to be the show stealer, in my opinion, has to be the Texas Death Match between Moxley and Lance Archer.
Oh, yeah.
I liked the pacing. I liked how long it was. I liked the finish. And I liked how New Japan let Moxley basically call that match, because you could tell like it was kind of more of a his style match. And
I mean, what are your initial thoughts about Finn Juice becoming IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions?
they earned it. They fucking earned it. They were the foreigners who went through the New Japan's Young Lions program. They did all the things that New Japan wanted. They earned that spot.
Yeah.
And then who better than the Guerrillas of Destiny to get to put them over?
And also, did you see the match one of the retirement match of Ligers?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, what do you think of that? Like, all these are like wrestlers that either were friends or rivals to Liger.
I liked it. I wish Muda was there.
I mean, come on, yeah. I mean, who hasn't forgotten? I mean, I did saw that clip where Muda was facing Liger, and that's when he becomes Kishin Liger.
Yes, but it was fun. I wish I understood Japanese, because I had a feeling that if you were to watch that match with a Japanese commentator, you would have gotten more emotion behind it. Because like the whole just the way that the cadence of like the Japanese what's it called, commentators, Milano AT and I don't know who the other guys are, but they kill it. They bring that energy. They bring the same energy that like a soccer commentator brings that energy. Like, it reminds me of that.
Now, if you guys don't know this, you probably heard this. If you all remember, Stardom had a match before anything started. You know, but that one I don't think was anywhere available on the New Japan World.
It ended up being a dark match.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you this: do you think they're working for a way to somehow give Stardom put like a little network too alongside New Japan, or that's separate?
I don't have enough insight to comment on whether or not they can or can't, but I just thought it would have been an impressive step forward if they would have just had that as a pre-show match.
Yeah,
I don't know
Well, I think they're trying to find a way how to introduce this to the New Japan fans. You know, because if you remember that documentary with Stardom,
yes,
all the fans were mostly men. you know. But with New Japan, that's a different story.
Yes.
So I think they're trying to figure out how can we introduce Stardom into New Japan.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah, that's another thing that I like about the New Japan crowd. I always pay attention to the crowd in wrestling shows. They're mostly Japanese people in that crowd, but the age and gender is very, very wide. You see old people, young people, women, men, kids. You see all different types of Japanese people in that crowd. I find that very, very interesting. And with that, what you said, that probably is why they didn't have the Yoshi Stars on Wrestle Kingdom, because they didn't want to alienate their loyal fans with something not, I guess, new.
Yeah.
All right, let's not.
Yeah. All right, let's talk with Night 2. Like we just said, it didn't have much of an impact like they did with Night 1. But there were.
We don't want to talk more about Night 1.
You still?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the main event: Okada versus Ibushi.
Was that a shoot?
I don't know.
Was that because what's it called? When Kota Ibushi started getting like mad, and he started actually hitting Okada, like was that a shoot match? Like, because they were saying that there was like shades of Inoki in what's it called in Kota right there.
I don't know, because he looked like he was, how do I say, like a darker side of him just came out of nowhere.
Like he was legit already mad that he wasn't going over. Like that's what I was like. That's what I was like. Whoa! Like, is this a shoot or is this real or I was like really really like for me, that was that was like the second best match on the whole thing. Yeah. Was Okada versus Kota Ibushi. Okay,
what about the junior heavyweight championship match with Hiromu and Will?
I already knew that as soon as that match started, everyone else's matches after that was going to have to kick it up a notch. Because whether it's Will or Hiromu, they always manage to make that junior heavyweight spot, especially when the championship is on the line, the Night Stealer.
Yeah. So anything you want to comment on Night 1?
I really wasn't sure if Naito was going to beat Jay, even though I was going to be happy with either result. Like, I really liked how like it had me at the edge of my seat. I was like, oh man, oh man, and then he did it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the double championship thing has been one of those things. Like, okay, we have 4 contenders three who want it. One who's like, I don't give a shit, that type. But we're waiting. We were like, I think we were all holding our breaths on this one. You know what I mean? So let's move on with Night 2.
Yes.
All right. So, as you know, we got brand new 6-man never openweight tag team champions.
Oh yeah.
He's wearing the shirt.
Of course.
And not to mention, this is like another, for me, I don't know if you know this, this one, Shingo Tagagi's second title holding.
Oh yeah.
Because I know that Evil and Bushi already held his titles before with Sonata.
Wait, start all over? What
I know
Shingo did what?
This Shingo's second time ever having another title, championship title on his belt. You know what I mean?
Oh no, two. For some reason, I thought
he was already junior heavyweight with Ibushi.
Yeah.
And now with this one, he's with.
For some reason, I thought he had the junior heavyweight.
No, he hasn't. No, not he. Ever since he first came on to New Japan, he hasn't gone to that approach yet.
Right.
So yeah, let's talk about the second match for the retirement of Yushin Thunder Liger.
I like that. That was really cool. I was kind of expecting Ryu Lee to turn, but it didn't happen. So I was like, maybe they're gonna save that for later, because he's still just barely the champion. This could happen.
But not to mention, we got to talk about his like outside of the ring, about his issues that he had with his former employees, because I think they're trying to figure out where they're gonna go with this character now.
Okay.
If you guys don't know this, Dragon Lee was fired from his previous employer CMLL because he went to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla's Battle of Los Angeles, and they didn't like that, and they fired him on the spot. And he was supposed to be in Junior Tag League alongside Titan, but CML approached him saying that to remove him, and of course. But if you guys were well aware of this, Dragon Lee has a strong passion to be in Japan all the time, especially with New Japan. And like I said, he was going to find a way to get in with them, and he did. Instead of calling himself Dragon Lee, he goes by Ru-Lee. If you guys don't know, Ru stands for, in Japanese language, dragon.
Yeah.
Which fits perfectly. But I have to say, like, this match was very special, because here's the thing. Liger did state it before this that he wanted to face Hiromu. He was one of those guys he hasn't wrestled yet. And then there's Dragon Lee, someone he has wrestled, but Dragon Lee always, or Ru-Lee, that's what we would want to call him, always admired him. He felt like he wanted to be that guy to make the final match.
With Fujiwara in their corner.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But it was a sad ending,
Yeah. But I don't know, because we're still going to see him in commentary next to Milano 18.
Well, I think he was still trying to process, the whole thing that he's now retiring.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And let's move on. There's the, of course, brand new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Roppongi 3K.
3 or 4? Is this their third or fourth title reign? Fourth, okay.
But I'll never forget that they took a page out of Rocky's book. If you guys didn't know this, or those who don't, they put cups on their pants because Phantasmo has a tendency to punch.
Oh, both and Taichi Ishimori, they both have low blowed them numerous times. I think Sho and Yo are almost. I'm gonna start to make a scale and see who's been low blowed the most. And right now it's Sho, Yo, and AJ Styles. People can't stop hitting their thing.
All right, let's talk about this one match that I feel like we need to talk about.
Yes.
The aftermath of the match between Jon Moxley and Juice Robinson.
Oh.
Now, if you guys want to know, Moxley won this match, but that wasn't the part that was very interesting.
Nah.
It was the appearance of Minoru Suzuki.
The King.
Now, if you guys have been following Moxley being in New Japan, there have been fans, including ourselves, that would have been saying, who is the one guy he should face? And the guy on the top of the list is Minoru Suzuki. And it appears New Japan is finally going to give us that wish.
Oh, yes.
And I feel like this is the best way to start 2020 with Moxley and Minoru Suzuki having a war. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know if I want to see it in the New Beginning. Well, they're gonna have it at New Beginnings.
I think they're trying to build up for the perfect occasion.
But they're gonna have it at New Beginnings. But I want to see it again. Like I want to see it at least like 3 times. Like maybe like a Dominion, maybe. Like
I was thinking about that too. Like maybe Dominion is that one event that could spark up the fight between those two. Yeah. So okay, let's.
You skipped Sonata.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Now we got. What do you think of the fight between Zack Sabre Jr. and Sonata?
I feel like Sonata should have won, but they didn't want us to like. They didn't want us to like assume that it was going to be a LIJ blowout. With everyone winning all the matches. So, however, I feel like him losing in that, like I've been saying, if you've noticed, almost every other episode we do this, and I talk about Sonata, I'm like salivating at the idea of him leaving LIJ to be a singles,
or form his own faction,
form his own faction. But yeah, like this to me could be like a little like breadcrumb to him, like being recognized as a single, because these are really good singles, and I feel like New Japan needs to put a belt on him sooner than later, because Sonata's my kind of pick for a surprise entry at Royal Rumble.
There's no surprise that WWE last year had their eyes.
They
had their radar on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right? Then we got the never open weight championship between Kenta and Hiroki Goto.
This is where I started to fall asleep.
Yeah. Well, we'll just skip who won. Goto.
Yeah, Goto won, and that's what made me tired was because I said Goto won, but I was a little disappointed. Like I so wanted to see fucking what's it called, Shibata come out. Like I was so hoping that Shibata was I was so hoping that Kenta was gonna go over, and then Shibata come out and like maybe challenge him or some shit. But
and then
his injury is real.
Then we got Jay White versus Kota Ibushi.
That was another one that I was kind of disappointed in because I feel like for some reason I was expecting either Kota Ibushi to finally join Bullet Club or Bullet Club to kick Jay White out for losing, and I still wanted that to happen in New Year's Dash, but we're jumping ahead.
Yeah, but not to mention Kota went to that trance again.
Yeah,
when Gedo struck them with the chair.
Yeah,
and he just gave him that look.
Yeah,
it's like you better get out of there, get him.
And I'm noticing a lot of backlash about what's it called on the internets that a lot of the Western fans don't get the art of no selling, and Japan uses no sell for to make it look like their character is like kind of like invincible, and there was a lot of people saying like, why is he no selling? Why is he no selling? I'm like, well, you don't get it. Like when New Japan, not just New Japan, in Japan when they do a no sell, it's kind of like them like being invulnerable at that time, and a lot of people didn't really get it, and I noticed it's mostly from like Western fans.
Then we got the special match where Tanahashi wants to step into the Forbidden Door against Chris Jericho.
That's where I was kind of waking up and because I was watching it live, obviously,
of course.
And when he got the walls of Jericho on Tanahashi, I was like, damn! Like I was so expecting him to win, but then again, I like the fact that New Japan is putting Jericho over and kind of making Jericho our this era's Ric Flair.
Yeah, and not to mention, it's been noted by the Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer.
Yes,
that New Japan are recognizing Jericho as the AEW top guy.
He's got the belt.
Yeah, and not to mention, Jericho in post-match interview, he did say that the door shouldn't be closed; they should be open. Like he wants New Japan and AEW put aside their egos, the politics, all this and that, and start working together to make big business, that type of thing. Yeah. And those are saying that Jericho could be that one guy that could unite both AEW and New Japan.
Oh yeah.
And I do see it too because I think he's starting to see how valuable New Japan is. And he can try to convince them, say, look, you guys want to expand more to the Western, to the U.S. We can help you. We can expose your talent, who they are, and people can follow you like that. And of course, there are fans here in New Japan that are following too, but they should be more recognized. And it'd also be an added bonus for them to have fans who are in New Japan who are still not sold to the AEW brand to come out to see them.
I feel like AEW needs New Japan more than New Japan needs AEW.
Yeah.
And that's simply from my observation of how successful New Japan's 2019 was without the Elite as a whole, not just the original Elite, but everyone that was in the Elite. They were able to bounce back from that. That's part of the reason why I think Jay White is such a good performer for being so young, because they put him in Omega's place. They kind of rushed him into Omega's place, and he did what he could with what he was given.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the main event on this one, the double championship match.
Oh man. So let me tell you this: when Naito went for the Stardust press, I was having flashbacks of Wrestle Kingdom 12, and I started feeling like a Chargers fan in the fourth quarter, going, "Oh God, don't do this to me, please." Like, no, don't do this now, please don't. And he hits it, and I'm like, "Oh no, he did it! He actually did it!"
Yeah. I mean, it was a good match, you know.
Yeah.
Because if you follow Naito's story from the beginning, it's like,
well,
he was that one guy that people didn't give a damn about.
True.
And then all of a sudden, some point, people started giving a damn.
True.
But he feels like it's not enough. Like he wants to complete his destiny.
Well, yeah, because like Wrestle Kingdom 12 was like I wish I could say I was following Naito from the beginning. I can't really say that. The only like wrestler I really was like following from the beginning is Becky Lynch. But what's it called with Naito? Like I started getting into New Japan right around after the Bullet Club invasion thing with like WWE and all that stuff. So I started learning more about all that. And that's why I was saying I was getting like a bad feeling about that Stardust press because I remember the first time I saw Naito versus Okada in Wrestle Kingdom 12, and he hit that Stardust press and got nothing, and I was like, "Oh fuck, he's not gonna win this match."
Yeah, but of course, Naito got his destiny.
Yes,
he did exactly what he said: be the first ever double champion.
Yes.
And of course, someone had to ruin the party for all of us.
Oh, man. I feel like I was the only one that laughed my ass off at that part. Because as much as I enjoyed all this stuff, and I like how like they do the little confetti shit that comes out of it, like I thought it was a really good move on New Japan to have Kenta come out there and be all like, stop all this. And the boos. Oh, the boos were like so deafening. Like, I don't know. I could see this being a good rivalry, going with Kenta and Naito.
Yeah, I mean the way it was like you saw you heard the commentary with Rocky's like saying, "You bastard, you ruined it all for all of us."
Yeah.
You know, and Kenta's like saying, "I don't give a shit."
Nah, dude.
He can do whatever he wants, however he wants.
Nah. One thing that people should know about like with professional wrestling, and I don't know about other kind of forms of entertainment or sports.
Yeah.
You want to be booed or cheered.
Yeah.
As long as there's a reaction, you don't want you don't want a popcorn fart.
No. All right, let's move on to the following day. After that was New Year's Dash.
New Year's Dash was when Liger's retirement finally was like a reality to me.
We had
that's when it was reality to me.
We had people with the New Japan roster and the Chaos members being out there, you know, because Liger has been a true inspiration to many of these guys, and of course there are those who were so close to him, you know. And I saw this on the post match. They asked him why wasn't he wearing a suit, you know, for the ceremony, but he said that why not dress like this one last time, because I'm not going to wear it afterwards. You know, I mean, it's true. I mean, we're not going to see that suit ever again.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's a proper way of ending a man's journey. You know?
And my question got answered on the internet about the whole the 10 bells. The 10 bells wasn't for Liger. The 10 bells was for people that he's worked with that has passed on. And I can't remember who it was, but they mentioned a few names, and that's what it was actually for.
Yeah, and then you saw the surprise message by New Japan founder Antonio Inoki.
That got me a pop right there. I was all like, "Whoa!" Like,
yeah, I was like, "Whoa!" I didn't expect that, but yeah, it was like, wow, it's great that he was able to send a message, you know, to Liger. You know, he even though he's no longer running New Japan, but at least he always be remembered for being that guy that made New Japan. You know, that's the thing. All right, let's start with some of the matches they had here. Of course, they had the Young Lions match, which
That was I like that. I like the story with that. Was that the continuation of the Dojo Wars?
it still looks like it's still continuing. We got
Yes.
the LA Dojo and then and the New Japan Dojo still,
And I'm liking that Hanare is getting wins. When I first started watching New Japan, Hanare was the jobber.
Yeah, true.
Like, he was like, when I first started watching, I was like, whoever's team Hanare is in, they're gonna lose.
Yeah.
And they always lost. And I remember the one time he got a win. I was like, oh, whoa, he's making the transition.
Yeah. All right, let's go with the 4-way tag team match for the junior heavyweight group. We had Suzuki Goons, El Desperado, Kanemaru, Bullet Club's Phantasmo and Ishimura, LIJ, Bushi, and Hiromu, and of course Roppongi 3K.
Who won?
Suzuki Goon.
Huh. Oh, that's right, they did win for the number one contender, right?
They didn't say it was, but it was. Looks like it could be like one of those indications. Like I don't know. They did had a good year in 2018.
Mm-hmm. They were the longest running IWGP heavyweight champions for a while.
Until they lost the belts to LIJ's Bushi and Shingo.
Yeah.
But right now, right now the show and are well aware they got targets in the back, but the real question is who's going to be the one group that will try to take the belts from them. Like, I know Phantasma and Ishimura want those belts back, and of course you got Suzuki Goon that are still trying to regain those belts back. Like, any of those two, I feel like they're the only ones that want them back.
I'm torn with the idea of Birds of Prey getting the junior heavyweight championship and Ospreay leaving the junior heavyweight division altogether.
Yeah, we'll just see how it goes because he did impress us with him being in G1. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next one. We had what was it? A 8-man tag team match. We had New Japan, Kota Ibushi, Tanahashi, and Finjuice facing Bullet Club, Tama, Tonga, Chase, and Bad Luck. But this one was an interesting match, where Chase was convincing Kota to join the Bullet Club.
Yes, that's when I was like, when I was kind of like thinking about that, where the idea of him joining the Bullet Club, because like I don't know, like for me, like New Year's Dash to me is when like someone's gonna get betrayed or someone's getting kicked out of something.
Yeah.
And none of that happened in New Year's Dash, so I was like, man.
No. I mean, it's like they really want him to join.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, it's because they see, like, okay, you lost 2 nights in a row in Wrestle Kingdom. And they really want him to be in, like, but I think for Kota's, like, he feels like, I don't feel like I'm that part of that group.
Well, to be fair, like, Kota actually joining the Bullet Club would be weird, because how many Japanese wrestlers are in a foreigner faction?
3. There's Kenta, Yujiro, and Ishimori.
And Jado.
Well,
and
Jado and Gedo are not wrestlers, but they're like more the managers. Like,
still in the faction.
Yeah.
Though.
But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Ibushi decides to join Suzuki Goon.
That I can see more than anything else, because he'd be like, I could see him being like the Sheldon X Benjamin of the group. Ever since, yes, wait, yes. Okay, that makes more sense, because one, they need someone really, really good, and I could see him tagging with anyone in. Oh man, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see a tag team of Lance Archer and Ibushi. Just, they'd be murdering people.
Yeah, so Bushi took the win on this one for his team. So let's move on to the next one, which was LIJ's Shingo and Evil facing Chaos, Goto, and Ishii. This one was a powerhouse match. You know, I was watching Ishii and Goto. No, Evil and Ishii facing off. You know, like a lot.
Ishii's a highly underrated performer. Everyone that he works with, he could make them look good. He could make them look good if they aren't already good.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there was Tagagi, who was gunning for Goto.
Oh yeah.
You know, but right at the end of the match, when LIJ took the victory on this one, Shingo wants to challenge Goto for the title.
Oh yes, that's right.
Basically, he said that Naito inspired him for the double championship thing, and he is currently the 6-man never openweight champion.
Yes,
alongside Evil and Bushi. So it's like, why not? I'll take that belt too.
Yeah,
you know. But I think that could be in the works. You know, like we just got to wait and see when that will happen. I feel like this is going to be another, because the thing is, we know Shingo, he made his debut with New Japan back in 2018. Or was it? Yeah, 2018. He was in the junior heavyweight division. And then this year, before the G1, he made the jump to the heavyweight division. And he had a good run during that time. And same thing with the Best of the Super Juniors as well. But this time, last year, he had a good year. And now he wants to kick it up a notch, you know, be more of a singles competitor.
Yes.
You know, which I feel that maybe that they're giving him a good push on this one.
Yeah, that's one thing that I really like about New Japan is like everyone who can do something with their push gets a push.
Yeah.
Like there's no forced, well, with the exception of Jay White,
yeah.
But there's not really like a lot of like force with like their push, who they want to push. It's more of like who can get the crowd hot.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's move on to the next match with an 8-man tag team match, Chaos versus Suzuki-gun. For the Chaos faction, we had Yoshihashi, the Birds of Prey, and Okada. Suzuki-gun has Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, Zack Sabre Jr., and Taichi. What do you think of this one?
I don't really remember.
Well, Rob Eagles was getting more handled by Minoru Suzuki.
Oh, yes.
But let's skip who won the match, but the part after that's where it shocks everyone. Of course, Chaos won the match because of Taichi's Iron Claw game. But out of nowhere, you get a surprise visit from Moxley, where fans were thought that he already left for back in here in the States because he was scheduled to be at AEW Dynamite. He shows up, and boy, I was like enjoying where he gets into Suzuki's face. You know, you saw the look at them when they were punching, where Suzuki has that laugh, and then Moxley had that laugh back. And of course, it was like, okay, this is a great story and a great war we gotta see. And I think many fans are very happy how they're going with it. You know, and right at the end of when Moxley left, you saw that look in Minoru Suzuki's face. He has a sadistic laugh, like he's enjoying it. And he's like, finally I get someone who has the balls, who's more crazy enough than me. And I think he's looking forward to it. So we're still going to see when that happens. But but like you said, they could build up to other events. Like maybe the main one could be like up to Dominion, you know, which I would love to see. It probably will be a huge match on that one.
Oh, yes.
All right, so let's go with the main event. We had LIJ members, our newly crowned double champion, Naito, and Sanada facing Bullet Club members Jay White and Kenta. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this was more of like me, like I was watching the whole time. I wasn't really paying attention to the match. I was more like just like hoping that either like Ibushi joins Bullet Club or they kick Jay White out of Bullet Club or something. Just I wanted to see some like drama.
Because here's the thing, I was looking at Kenta a lot, you know, ever since he joined Bullet Club. I looked at him as like, what if he's that one guy who decides to kick out Jay White, but he had good reasons?
Yes.
You know, like he could tell Tama Tonga and Bala Fale saying, look, I know he's your boy. I know you, Fale. You were close when you're the one who discovered him. I get it. You know? But look what happened. He lost the title.
Right.
You know? What has he been doing for ever since then? Why did he done anything to regain it back? Isn't that what the Bullet Club's supposed to do? You know? I look at Kenta as like that one guy who makes the good point.
Oh, not necessarily makes a good point, but like stirring the pot.
Yeah.
You know, perpetuate things to go into motion. But like, I don't know, that wouldn't really go with like the whole like storyline, because like, you know, we could do like fantasy booking like all day long.
Yeah.
But what it really comes down to is like, is like where Jay White goes.
Yeah.
Because like normally when someone gets kicked out of the faction, that means they're getting kicked out of the whole company altogether.
Yeah, but there doesn't seem like indications on that.
Nah, so that's why I didn't really see Jay leaving as much as seeing Ibushi coming in.
Yeah,
but I wanted to see.
But
something
we'll just
happen.
wait and see. But of course, we just got word that they will be. Kenta will be facing Naito for the double championship, and that's going to be on New Beginnings, right?
Yes.
So pay attention to that, folks. If you have New Japan World, then get ready for that. If you guys don't, subscribe now. So we will keep more updates with New Japan on what's going on with them, if there's any new changes. I think currently they're doing that whole thing with CML call Fantastic Mania. There's no English commentary on these particular events.
No.
Because mostly it's just a collaboration with the Japanese wrestlers and the Mexican luchadors. So,
But check it out anyway.
But yeah, check it out. I mean, it's not going to kill you. Even if you don't understand Japanese, at least you'll enjoy the matches.
Did I enjoy Dragon Ball Z in Spanish?
All right. So that's it for New Japan, but we'll be right back with more. We just saw the latest NWA Power. This one was a very interesting stories they've been throwing in. Like, it started out with Tim Storm, you know, talking about what happened last week. Now, if you guys haven't seen it last week, or you have, what happened is Tim Storm is currently in the tournament for the NWA Television Championship. Last week, he was supposed to be in the match against Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis chickened out. You know. And Nick Aldis is not, like, mad because of this. He's mad that you call yourself a fighting champion. But all of a sudden, you just walked out like the coward you are. You know. And that's what he was trying to tell everyone. And everybody agrees to saying to Nick, you're a coward, Nick. You walked out. You know. You talk about this crap about how you want to be the guy that leads NWA.
Right.
And now you're acting like this selfish prick. That's what he's been going for. And then here comes Camille, getting in his face, but not saying a damn word as always. You know?
Her silence is louder than most people's.
Yeah, and then she gave Tim Storm a slap right in the face. You know, but I don't know what she was trying to do. I don't know if she was trying to antagonize Tim more to cause him more problems, you know?
Well, I kind of assumed that what's it called? Nick Aldis was going to go with the chicken shit heel angle ever since he formed that alliance,
Strictly Business.
the Strictly Business alliance. I like where it's going because it's making you want to see that belt get taken from him. Like at first, I just like was used to the idea of like him, just walking around with Sweet Charlotte. But yeah, like I like how they're building him up to be this heel that you want to see get beat.
Now, as we all know, they've been starting for a couple weeks now with the NWA Television Championship Tournament. They just pull out the last two matches from the last four contenders from that little jar thingy. Now, this one match, they started calling it a conspiracy.
Ooh, I like conspiracies.
Apparently, they pulled out Zane Dawson and his opponent, but I will not forget the look on that the guy who does the interview's face. He's like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! This is a conspiracy. You're facing Dave Dawson." And I'm like, what? So basically, I mean, I saw the announcer. He's like on the side of the Dawsons. Like, okay, this is messed up. You guys are facing each other.
Did they actually go against each other?
Yeah, both Dawsons.
Oh, hi. See, now I gotta watch it.
In the final two matches, they pulled out the final two competitors is Trevor Murdoch, the vet, versus Strictly Business member Tom Latimer. So these are two of the matches that are currently haven't happened, but it will happen for the television champion tournament. And I'm going to assume this might continue next week. You know, so but let's move on with the first match they had. This one is related to the NWA Television Champion Tournament. Zicky Dice versus Caleb Conley. Now, I can't stand Zicky Dice.
Are these dudes?
What?
Are these guys or chicks?
Dudes.
Oh, okay.
Zicky Dice and Caleb Conley.
Nice. That sound like two young ladies to me.
No, I started following Caleb Conley from a couple months now. Just found out he played the character Suicide one time.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so yeah. But as always, Zicky Dice cheated his way through this one. I can picture Zicky Dice, just hear me out, trying to get to the finals, but he loses. And then he goes out ranting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I can picture him doing that. And then we got, of course, the third degree black belt and third degree national champion. And the master of karate.
That's
beginner.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that's karate.
Yeah. Question mark. Now, Aaron Stevens' goal is to obtain all the gold. As you know, he has the National Heavyweight Championship. And he wants to see, question mark, his sensei to obtain the television title. Okay. And once they do that, they'll go after the tag team titles. And then they'll go after the 10 pounds of gold.
Ooh.
But there's only one problem. I wanted to tweet on this. Who's going to get the women's title? If you should get a female in your group if you want all the gold.
Right.
You know? So I was like saying, you should have female on your side if you want all the gold.
Yes.
I mean, isn't that the whole point of a faction? Or a group?
Oh, yes, have all the gold.
Someone needs to tell him that.
So my retarded ass finally figured out who the goddamn question mark is.
Who is it?
And I was like, oh, I'm slow. Who hasn't been on Power? For a while.
That one guy who throws powder?
Josephus.
Josephus.
Is the question mark. And I was like, oh, why did I not know that?
Well, there's some people they're saying is this other guy, a veteran wrestler that does that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like saying, okay, if it's him, I will. I'm like, it does look like him. I mean, I'm like, I can't tell for sure, but we'll just see. All right, then we had, of course, Allison Kay joining commentary, ranting about talking about Melina, saying she's manipulative, she stole Marty Bell from her, and all this and that. And last week, if you guys still recall, there was a 6-woman tag team match.
Yes.
Whoever pins who, like, let's say Melina pinned Allison Kay, she gets a shot at her, you know, or however it goes. Thunder Rosa made the pin. She was about to say something, but Melina said it for her. Oh. She picked ODB. Now, Allison Kay was going out saying that Melina was being manipulative. You know, maybe so, but Melina still wants Allison Kay for herself.
Right.
You know, like she still has an axe to grind to her. That's what the point is with her. If you follow the whole why she's been showing up, like she doesn't appreciate Allison Kay telling all these female wrestlers that it's not their time. You know, but of course we jump into the match with Thunder Rosa versus ODB. Now this was a interesting match between them. Now you look at Thunder Rosa. If you guys know, she also trains at MMA.
Yep.
And you got ODB, a powerhouse in the women's division. Now, I was like wondering, okay, who's gonna win between these two? And right at the end, Thunder Rosa took the advantage on this one.
Oh yeah.
She's like the strongest one of the two, but she still has like an axe to grind with Allison Kay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody from that group has an axe to grind with her. Then we got Nick Aldis doing an interview, and of course, everybody's still calling him a coward.
Oh yeah, easily.
I mean, yeah, because he thinks he's not a coward, but whatever they try to say something to him, like a question, he just doesn't give a straight answer.
Oh yeah, he swerves. Yeah, he's kind of swerves like answers and stuff. Kind of similar to the way Eli Drake does it, but like just kind of like more of like a just an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, then we had Nick Aldis being in the match against Ricky Starks.
And this is all for the television title tournament, right?
No.
No? Oh, this is just a regular match?
Yeah, regular match. Now, here's what happened. They went with that 6 minutes and 5 seconds type of rule.
Yeah.
It ended with a time limit draw.
Oh,
Nick Aldis, in his mind, just like Jericho, that happened right before the end of the year, he thought he won, right, when the clock went out.
Yeah.
But referee, told him, no, the time went off. You did not win. He did not tap out. He did all this and that.
Ricky Starks is someone that I'm actually starting to pay attention to now. Ricky Starks needed this match more than Aldis needed it. When I first saw Ricky Starks, I was like, man, whatever. Then when I actually seen him go, I was like, okay, I could see NXT taking him.
So yeah, but right at the end of the match, Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express shows up.
Yeah.
He demanded Aldis to give Ricky Starks another 5 minutes. And fans were right behind him saying, give it to him. And of course, Ricky Starks, he was ready to go. Even he was already hurt.
This is just AEW all over. This is just Jungle Boy and Jericho.
But they went a different route on this one.
Okay.
Nick Aldis said no.
Oh, okay, cool.
Basically, he didn't have to. Then Morton volunteered himself. Why not give me 5 minutes? Okay. As always, Nick Aldis just walked out like the coward he is.
Oh, okay. See, I thought this was like... Remember when SmackDown was just copying Raw week after week?
Yeah. That's the kind of situation that took place on this one.
Yeah.
Then we had a tag team match with Eli Drake and James Storm facing Colt Boom Boom Cabana and Mr. Anderson. Now, this feud went on last week. Apparently, Eli was still talking smack about Anderson. And Colt tried to tell him he's a cool dude. It's like, he's telling him to no, he's an asshole. You know? And he was trying to tell him, your friend's an asshole for what he is. You know, he's like, Eli Drake's not afraid to tell him right in his face. But he was trying to tell him that's what he was. But during their match, this is what happened. Mr. Anderson disqualified himself, costing the match. Colt was not a happy camper. But Eli Drake and James Stewart kind of like look at this like, hey, Eli was trying to tell you that he's an asshole. And Colt is still questioning what the hell was that all about. But I think I don't know if they're gonna go now where, okay, we need to split them up. You know?
Yeah.
Where, okay, what if Eli Drake was right? What if Mr. Anderson really is an asshole all this time? You know, and Cole has to wake up and see, he may be your friend, but he's still an asshole. You know, so that's how I see it. Maybe there's a certain point during this time down the line that they may have to separate the two, and they at some point they'll throw in friend versus friend match.
Okay.
You know, that's what I can see. And then it ended with Strictly Business showing up, all of them. Now, Rock and Roll Express are still getting into Nick Aldis' face for what he is. Of course, if you remember last week or 2 weeks ago, Nick Aldis was saying that he is part of the greats alongside Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Harley Race. But Rock and Roll Express don't see him as that he's already there. But he acts like he's still there. But Nick Aldis didn't appreciate what he was saying that I'm not part of those guys, you know, and they're still going with the feud. But here's the interesting part. He said that they'll throw in a 6-man tag. Now, the Rock and Roll Express says they can get one of their friends to step up being their third man. But Nick Aldis picked his third man. Surprise, surprise, is none other than Big Pop Pub Scott Steiner.
I'm gonna have to watch this episode.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's like, what?
I hope Nick Aldis doesn't really believe that, and that's all kayfabe, because
I think it is like part of the story where he thinks this is the way with Nick Aldis I see. He goes out saying, "I've been carrying this company for 2 years." Yeah, maybe so, but you are not yet in that level with Ric Flair or Ricky Steamboat or Harley Race.
My thing is, I can't speak for everyone else, but I didn't even care who had the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship until Cody was gunning for it.
True. But now we got Marty who's gunning for it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised that if Marty shows up again, he gets a title shot.
Oh, yes.
And what if he brings his group with him? The Villain Enterprise. And that will put the Strictly Business at ease. But I would love to see Camille get in PCO's face. That would be funny. Like, you don't want to mess with the Canadian Frankenstein, the much scary person in the world. Now, before we end this part of the NWA segment, today is January 10th.
Yes.
If you guys haven't ordered the Hard Times pay-per-view from NWA, do so fast as possible. This is the last day. Now, if I upload this video the next day, then it was already too late. Then you have to pay a little extra. Now, the price that it was for today, before it goes out, is $14.99, and I already paid for it. So, if you guys haven't done that yet, do it now.
At his house.
Actually, I watch on my tablet.
Okay.
I don't use the TV. So if you guys haven't ordered it yet, if I upload it long before tomorrow, then do so. If you haven't, and we're already Saturday, it's too late. So hope that I haven't got yet the full card on this one. I know it's taking place on January 24th, which is Saturday, I think. Well, yeah, it is a Saturday because isn't that Fist Combat event?
Yeah, it is the cage match.
Fuck.
Right?
Damn it.
Decisions.
Well, I can still watch it afterwards.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's right close to my house.
Yeah,
All right. So like I said, if you guys haven't pre-ordered Hard Times, do so right now. If you guys are already too late, by the time this video uploads the next day, you're too late. So we will follow more with NWA for next episode, see what goes on. And if there's anything new coming up, if there's any new signees or anything else, well, we'll let you guys know as possible, or I'll put them in a DWZ news update alert as soon as possible. So that's it for this particular segment. So. Nico, we're back where we left off with the Wednesday Night War.
Back at it.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks there was no war. Basically, it was kind of weird. It was 1 week on the Christmas week. It was NXT. AEW took the week off. Then the following week, there was the NXT year-end award, which was nothing big deal. But AEW had their
big deal. It was a big deal.
Not a big deal during the war.
Adam Cole took all the awards.
I was referring to matches, I was referring to matches, not.
Right.
But AEW had their homecoming edition in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So, but this week we resume back to the war. Now, the winner for this week is none other than AEW. They got the views of 947,000 with the rate of 0.36. NXT got 721,000 with the rate of 0.19. I mean, this is a much bigger views that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think maybe the break might have helped them out?
It could be a lot of things.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Honestly, the ratings poll is kind of a work.
Yeah. All right, let's start with AEW since they won this week. It started out with the tag team match with Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus Private Party.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if you know this. The pace on this particular match, Private Party kind of toned it down a bit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was like, okay, we don't need to go that fast. You know, but it was a good match. You know, seeing like, okay, we got it. But where there's this part where Hangman was about to do the buckshot Larry, that's what it is.
Yes, buckshot Larry. Yes.
On one of the guys from Private Party, but he ducked and he almost hit Kenny. He's like, oh, it's okay. You know. But I don't know if you saw this. There was a combination where Kenny did the V trigger and Hangman did the buckshot lariat at the same time.
Ooh.
On one of them. I'm like, whoa, what do you call that? Total elimination. But it was a good match. It was like, okay, so now we're seeing, okay, Hangman and Kenny are really working together as a tag team unit. And they won this match. But right at the end of the match, Pac attacked once again Michael Nakazawa.
Oh, okay.
He was demanding for his rubber match.
Yeah.
Now, when Kenny took off to find Michael, guess what Hangman was doing? Drinking beer with the fans.
Oh, yeah, I like the angle they're doing with this.
If you guys haven't seen Being the Elite or the last, he's been drinking.
Well, not just that, like the angle they're going with Adam Page, Hangman Adam Page. They're kind of like you guys like. Yeah, if you're familiar with like the washed up boxer who's no longer a champion, sitting in a smoke filled room watching the reels of his like highlight reels, they're kind of like going that way where he's broken down. He's kind of like they're doing a resurrection of the Hangman. Yeah. And right now he's in a low period. He's drinking, doing reckless shit, drinking with the fans, not really being inclusive with the elite. He didn't want to close the show last week with the elite when they were asking him to come out there. He's like, no, I didn't do anything.
Not to mention Private Party concerned over his well-being.
Yes.
That's the reason of this match. I think Hangman was trying to tell him to shut up, mind your own business.
Yes.
But they were like, come on, this is not you. This is not the Hangman we hear about.
Yes.
That's the whole point. Then we got the match that was supposed to be for last week, but it was rescheduled for this week. Rio versus Chris Statlander.
I was a little disappointed in that match, but it's okay. There's plenty of time for.
Well, it's because you got to remember, before the Homecoming edition, they did announce that Chris Statlander already made a commitment.
It's not that. It's the fact that she didn't win. Like, she didn't go over. Like, I'm not.
But let me ask you this: there were those who are saying that they were pushing her way too fast. Do you think that was the reason, or they felt like they need to build her up more?
I like that they need to build her up more. It makes when she wins better. Like that it makes that pop better. I'm just kind of like I don't really see what everyone sees in Riho. Like her as like the champion.
I think the whole thing with the women's championship went on a shuffle when we talked about this before. They originally were going to put Kylie Ray. That was part of the original plan, but I think this whole thing went to the shuffle, like trying to figure out, okay, who could step up, and I think they might have voted Rio on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd rather see Shida or
Hikaru Shida.
Yeah, Hikaru Shida or Britt Baker. I think they're the two of the better ones in the women's division. And I hate to sound like someone that's just regurgitating shit that's from the internet, but I feel like the women's division needs a redo.
Yeah, my brother actually mentioned this to me. When was it? This past Tuesday, I think. Yeah, this past Tuesday, because I was dog sitting his dog.
Yeah.
And he took me to the nearest trolley station. He told me that he feels right now that NXT has the stronger women's division, but AEW doesn't right now.
Between the two, yeah, but like right now, the women's division that makes sense to me is the NWA and the NXT women's division. They're both killing it. I like the reason why I like the NWA's women's division over the NXT division is it's a slow burner. They're barely putting it all together. They got the thing between Thunder Rosa and all of them. Like it's a slow burner. If you can appreciate something like that, then you'll get it.
But there was one thing that kind of was silent during this match between Rio and Chris Statlander is they revealed the mystery of that one dude that showed up in those promo videos. That bald guy. Excalibur said that his name is Luther, who is a recognizable wrestler for death matches in Japan. I'm like, I never heard of this guy. I think a lot of people still don't know who he is, and I'm sure they're gonna try to look it up. Try to find out who the hell is this guy. I think that's one of those things where, okay, we're not being introduced these wrestlers the right way. Like people were still silent about that whole thing with the bunny, the butcher, the blade, and the bunny. It started out, and it's the same thing again all over. But I'm sure they'll figure something out on this one. Because we didn't know who the hell was this new guy for the Nightmare Collective.
Nah.
But yeah. Let's move on to the next match. We had Sammy Guevara and Christopher Daniels on this one. As you recall, last week, Sammy was getting into Daniels' head about his little botch.
Yeah.
What happened, what was it, a couple weeks ago? And, of course, he wanted to get his hands on Sammy. Now, last week, he was about to do that one move again, and he didn't do it. But
the Arabian insult.
Yeah, it was on AEW Dark.
Yeah.
But this match had a little twist to it right in the end. Pentagon got in the face again with Daniels. And it cost him the title, but out of nowhere, no, well, not the title, the match, I mean, out of nowhere, here comes the Dark Order. Coming out, offering Daniels to join, saying that AEW didn't want you, the rest of your SCU brethren don't give a damn about you because you don't have a title and they're not recognizing you. But, of course, Daniels declined. And they were beating him up, but here comes the rest of SCU and the Bucks having some unfinished business with the Dark Order after what happened last month. So they're probably going to build up. But the one thing they're still, from other people, even the Square Circle, Psychobabble, they're trying to figure out, who the hell is this Exalted One that Evil Uno's taking orders from?
Ooh.
Because it turns out this. If you ever seen those movies where you find out, okay, we see a couple of bad guys, and it's like, wait a minute. None of these guys were responsible. There's someone else behind it.
The Exalted One.
Yeah. Looks like there's a mastermind between the Dark Order on this one.
You know what would break the internet?
What?
If it was Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
This whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when I think of the Exalted One, for some reason, Jim Cornette's name is the first that comes to my mind.
Yeah. Then we had the next match with which is brothers versus brothers.
Oh.
The Brotherhood, Cody Rhodes and his brother Dustin, taking on the Lucha Brothers. And of course, the head coach of Nightmare Family was right there. As always, I like how Arn Anderson's covering his mouth trying to.
Oh yeah. It's like they said from the beginning. They're presenting their show like a sport.
Yeah. So it was a good match to see, But I don't know if you noticed.
Yes.
During this match, you had Pentagon, who's the older brother, getting the face of Cody, and you got Freddie Phoenix getting the face of Dustin. It's like a reverse dynamic. Like we've seen with the Lucha Brothers with the Bucks, you had Matt in the face of Pentagon and Phoenix with Nick, and now it's a little reverse on this one. I don't know if you noticed that.
Probably has a lot to do with the communication.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and of course the ones who won this match was the Brotherhood, Cody and Dustin. But here's what people have been asking. A week ago, MJF gave these 3 stipulations.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, he asked Cody to give him the answer. Will he accept it? But Arn Anderson got in the way. He told him not to talk about it. I think Arn Anderson's trying to find a way to get around these stipulations. Now, don't forget, Arn is the head coach. He's the one who makes the final say. So they went back in the back. I think fans are like disappointed that they didn't get the answer, but you gotta remember, Arn Anderson is the genius behind the Cody. Oh, yeah. So he's trying to figure out what's MJF's angle here. Like, he knows he's trying to humiliate him. He knows he's trying to embarrass him, but what is he trying to play? The head coach is trying to figure out a plan how to get around it. You know, I mean, if you guys play sports, that's what head coaches would do.
Oh, yeah.
So, we just got to wait and see what's going to happen. And then we had a little, if you guys know this, for this past AEW, they were in Memphis. They were honoring the legend of the wrestlers in Memphis. And one of the surprise was Lenny Poffo, the Macho Man's brother. And the next match we had, no, not a match, MJF shows up. Still calling Cody a coward for not accepting or responding about the stipulations. You know? Because he wanted a straight answer. Like, he wanted to know, will he accept these stipulations? But here comes DDP. If you guys have forgotten what happened the last time, since DDP presented MJF that ring, the diamond ring that they built, he disrespected him, and he still had some unfinished business. And MJF disrespected him, saying things about his daughter and all this and that. But, of course, MJF called in for backup. He called the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. You know, as always, he used them to do his dirty work. But once they try to take DDP out, here comes QT Marshall and Dustin to stop them from making them take the whole thing worse. But it's been announced that next week we're going to see DDP coming out of retirement for this one night, teaming up with QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes at Bash at the Beach in Miami against MJF, the Butcher, and the Blade. Then we have a 6-man tag team match, the Jurassic Express versus the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. Now, I was like wondering, okay, how they're gonna play this with Orange Cassidy, you know, because there was a dynamic going on this one. If you guys didn't know this, Marco's son is a local hero down in Memphis. Yeah, no one didn't expect that.
Okay, I guess. That's cool.
But, of course, Orange Cassidy got in the face of Luchasaurus.
Yes.
So he was doing that whole kick thingy. But right at the end, of course, Jurassic Express took the victory. The first victory on this one.
So, remember I told you I kind of changed my mind with Orange Cassidy? I didn't like him at first, now I like him.
Yeah.
I'm starting to, like, come up with these theories that, like, I think Orange Cassidy is going to have the longest long-term storyline because of how little he does.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already over. He doesn't have to do much.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Okay. Then the last thing we got to talk about for this part of the map, about this AEW Dynamite, Moxley's decision. If you all remember, before the end of the year, Jericho offered Moxley to join the Inner Circle. Now, if you recall, I said Jericho's only saying this because he knows he doesn't want to lose his title to him. So he's trying to find a way to make sure he stays in it. So, a week ago, Jericho offered him a Ferrari.
How many days has he been champion?
Let's see. All Out took place in August 31st.
Okay.
That'll be... I lost count.
He's been champion for a number of days. A large number of days.
Yeah, like months, actually.
Months. Okay.
From August 31st.
About 4 months.
Of course, he presented him the Ferrari last week.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know this, that's actually Shadi Khan's Ferrari.
Yeah.
They kind of just use it as a prop. And Shadi Khan in real life, he didn't mind. He's sold on the AEW now. But it was good, you know. But of course, people were holding their breath, like wondering, okay, what's going to happen? Is he going to join? Well...
With the Mox license plate?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they probably had to swap it out.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, you see Moxley showing up wearing a jacket. He unzips himself and wears the inner circle. Now, everybody was celebrating. But we've seen this type of move before on certain occasions. I think my favorite move that I've seen is what Sting did with the NWO.
I like DDP's better.
Yeah. Yeah. So Moxley whacked Jericho with the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
He takes out Sammy Guevara and he takes the keys with him.
Yes.
So basically, he duped them.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes the Ferrari keys with them. And you see the reaction of Jake Hager. Like, no!
That's going to be a meme for days.
Oh, yeah. So, it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Now let's jump in with NXT. It started out with Rhea Ripley. She was about to give her speech after finally becoming the NXT Women's Champion. Or should we say, she now is the first one who has been NXT UK Women's Champion.
Both, yes.
Both. Now, as far as she was during her speech, here comes Toni Storm, the woman she lost the title to back in the NXT UK.
Toni Storm's my new favorite.
Yeah, so basically Toni Storm was going out saying, do you remember when I beat you for the title and all this and that? And this coming Sunday, she will be in a triple threat match against Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven for the NXT UK Women's Championship. And the only reason she wants this title was to go to Worlds Collide to face Rhea Ripley, which I think that's what's everybody's minds. Like,
right.
They want to go to Worlds Collide on this one because we are going to have a rivalry between the two NXT brands.
Right.
And then here comes Kaylee Ray, who had the same idea, the same thought. Here comes Io Shirai, Bianca Belair, and Candice LeRae. It's like everybody wants a piece of this. But once the fight broke down, William Regal made the decision, let's have a regular 6-women tag team match. Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, and Candice LeRae versus Kaylee Ray, Bianca Belair, and Io Shirai. Now, I was like saying, okay, how if all these women are going to get along, because since they all they want to be at the top, you know. But there was one scene where I saw Io Shirai was about to do that flip, the moonsault, but Bianca Belair tagged her. And you know how Io Shirai, she doesn't like it when people try to steal her thunder.
Right.
So she kind of double kicked Bianca Belair and took off, leaving her team vulnerable. And Io Shirai picked up the win. And of course, Candice LeRae had the belt right in her hand. You didn't know what's going to happen. Is she going to hurt Rhea Ripley? But no, she just handed it over. So basically, we still don't know yet because, of course, we have seen in the women's division how women turn on each other. You know, when they form an alliance, all this and that.
It's a fucking hyenas.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, they throw in a Tommaso Ciampa promo.
Ooh. Where
Where he's talking about how he had to give up Goldie and now he's trying to find a way to get Goldie back. And then Keith Lee had a promo. Now, this particular event, they had the fatal four-way match for the North American title. Like, me, I've been impressed with Keith Lee these past few months, you know, with his ability, a big powerhouse guy, not to mention the way he pops up, you know, all this and that.
He has he has facial expressions that remind me of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah. Now, the match they had on this one, the next one, is part of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classics. First match they had for this was for the first round. The Forgotten Sons versus Imperium.
Which members of Imperium?
I forgot their names.
Ah.
I know one of them is bald.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one, I think he's Italian or Austrian. I can't tell.
It's not the one that used to be in what's it called? Eric Young's old faction.
No, I don't think so.
Alexander Wolf. Yeah, he's in Imperium.
No, not he wasn't there.
Oh, okay. So he's good.
Yeah.
I only know two guys from Imperium: Alexander Wolf and the leader, fucking Walter.
Walter, yeah. So this was one of those matches that was like a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And of course there were you look at Imperium and the Forgotten Sons, like Imperium, they're like currently dominant at the NXT UK brand. You know, if since you guys don't watch, and me, I'm trying to catch up on that. And then you got the Forgotten Sons, who are trying to get to the top for the tag team division for a while now.
Forgotten Sons, they remind me of they look like they should be with the Wild Card or some shit.
Yeah, so
the Wild Card and with the other Storm guy.
James Storm.
James Storm. They all look like they should be all in one big super faction.
Yeah. So yeah, but I was impressed with both teams, you know. But Imperium took the victory on this one.
Of course.
So they are moved up in the next round of the Dusty Road Tag Team Classics. The next match we had is former Evolve champion Austin Theory versus Joaquin Wilde. I was impressed with Austin Theory on this one. I mean, I barely knew the guy's name for a while, but started watching him. I was like, yeah, okay, I love what he's doing.
He's like a technical guy?
Yeah. Technical guy and a bit of a high flyer. But yeah. But Austin Theory took the victory on this one. The next match was another first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. We had Undisputed Era, the Red Dragon group,
Yes.
Fish and O'Reilly, versus NXT UK Tag Team Champions Gallus, Wolfgang, and Mike Coffey. And this one was interesting because you have two tag team champions facing off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's still that determination who's going to win. But I knew who was going to win. I just saw the writing on the wall.
Oh yeah,
it was Undisputed Era because Cole and Strong were always there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how they are. They're trying to maintain the prophecy. You know that they should still be the champions and all this. So Undisputed Era, or should we call these guys just Red Dragon as we know them?
Yeah.
They are currently moved up in the first round. And then we had a recap of Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano. You know, last year was, okay, another feud that's been brought up. And then Johnny Gargano kind of gave his peace of mind. What he kind of made his statement about why is Finn Balor doing this. He's saying, I'll tell you why you attacked me, Balor. You claim you want to be that guy that will carry the flag. But ever since you were called up to the main roster, you never picked up the flag. I did. You know. So basically he was like saying, you just ran off. You didn't come back. And now you want to pick up the flag? And of course Finn Balor shows up, giving his little piece of mind what he was saying to him. But of course he did say he's still upset about losing to Adam Cole, not obtaining the NXT championship. But he did state that he will take him out at TakeOver Portland. But he did say something. I don't know if you heard this. Let's see if you make it there. And I'm like starting to think, is he forming a stable faction that we don't know about yet?
Yes.
So I know prior before this that he had his eyes set on Authors of Pain. But now they're currently with Seth Rollins.
Seth needed them more than...
But I'm going to assume maybe he's looking for new guys, or he already found these guys, or WWE already found these guys for him. You know what I mean? I still don't know yet. So yeah, so it's already been set that we may see the match between Johnny Gargano and Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver Portland. So we'll follow up on that one. Then with the next match, we had a women's match, Mia Yim versus Kaden Carter. Now I wasn't sold on this one too much.
No.
But the aftermath, I was. Chelsea Green finally makes her debut, attacking Mia Yim. Now, you're probably asking yourselves now, why do I mean by that? Well, she is part of NXT, but she hasn't been on television. Yeah. She's normally been doing the NXT live shows.
Same with
Deanna Pazura, the Virtuosa. And Santana Guerra has done those too. You know, there's still some wrestlers that have been signed, but they're yet to make their television debut. You know, and Chelsea Green is one of those talent that was on doing the doing the NXT live shows.
She was the one I wanted to win the All In 4-way.
Yeah, I think for me, I was going for Britt Baker. Yeah, but yeah, so Chelsea Green comes out, attacks both Mia Yim and Kaden Carter. They introduce manager Robert Stone. If you guys are fans of the TNA, Robert Stone was known as Robbie E back then. A little wannabe version of the Jersey Shore at the time.
Terrible.
Yeah, I don't know where they came up with that crap. So, but let's go to the main event, which this one I was completely up my feet on this one. The 4-way match to determine who's the #1 contender for the NXT North American Championship.
Ooh.
We had Keith Lee, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, and Dominik Dijakovic. Now, to me, I think the two people that I was voting for was Keith Lee and Dijakovic on this one. You know, but
I'm starting to like the whole Cameron Grimes thing,
where he's like trying to stomp his way in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happened with I wanted to see more of Cameron Grimes and
Kushida?
Nah, the dude that Mustache Mountain.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
Tyler Bate?
Tyler, yeah, no, not Tyler. Tyler, is it Tyler Bate?
Something like that, yeah.
He was the first
NXT
UK champion.
I think he's currently right now back with NXT UK.
I wanted to see more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but I was sold on this one a lot because you had 4 amazing wrestlers, you know?
Yes.
Keith Lee, we all been seeing he had a good year. He was breakout star of the year. Dijakovic, he and Keith Lee had some great matches last year. Damian Priest making his debut last year as well. I think Cameron Grimes too, was he?
With the what?
How long has Cameron Grimes been on NXT?
Cameron Grimes has been on NXT television since it started doing since they moved to the USA.
Okay, yeah, but I think there were certain moments where I see Lee and Dijakovic. They're kind of okay. I know your move, what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's because they find respect with each other, knowing okay, I know exactly what you're thinking, and that's a good moment. And then of course, Damian Priest, we've seen him. He's moving up more, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, his matches he had with Killian Dane, Pete Dunne.
Pete Dune.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm like, I was completely... But one part of this match that got me is when Dijakovic and Priest had the chokes right there. And guess who shows up? Da 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 da. I'm like, oh my god, here we go again.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, you know.
Well, it's a good there's a lot of things that play at that. It's a good work on the cameraman and the director that's in the headphones is telling them when to do the spots, and with Keith Lee being in the right spot. One thing that, and you'll always notice this, one thing that WWE does better than any of the other promotions is they know how to teach their talent to know where the camera's at. Like. That was like always my biggest. That's like one of my biggest things that I don't like about New Japan is they like to do 1-hour Broadways for everything, and they don't play the cameras. They don't work for they're working for the in-house patrons.
Yeah.
But with the NXT, well, not just NXT, but WWE, they're really good at capturing the whole television aspect of the show.
Yeah. So if the victor on this one was Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So he will face Roderick Strong for the North American Championship.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't remember if it's going to be next week for that one.
Oh.
Yeah, but we'll see. But I want to put this out. This one was announced for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Kushida is going to be in a match in this one. But then he had a mystery partner, and it finally revealed who it was. His longtime time splitter partner, Alex Shelley.
Alex Shelley.
So I don't know what they're going to call them this guy. There's no way they're going to call them time splitters on this one.
Or call them the Detroit City Machine Guns.
Yeah, so basically for the tag team classics, they're going to continue more with the first round. So Kushida and Shelley will be facing the what's their name? The veteran young Grizzly. I don't know who these guys are that much. And then there is another match for that. So that's going to continue on next week on NXT.
Kind of want to give myself a little bit of homework with Alex Shelby because like every time I see Alex Shelby, I feel like I slept on him because he's been long overdue to finally be in WWE. Everything I feel like Alex Shelby and Chris Sabian, dude, like those two dudes, like, are highly underrated.
Yeah. Not to mention they were one of the best tag teams, like outside of WWE.
Well, what made me pay attention to them was what's it called, the 4-way at Wrestle Kingdom, with them. It's them, Red Dragon, Young Bucks, and Roppongi Vice.
Yeah. So that's what
Check
we
that
got.
out.
Yeah. So that's what we got for the Wednesday Night War. So we'll continue more with it next week. So we'll be right back with more. All right. The last thing we're going to talk about for the last show they put in, MLW's Fusion, episode 91. This one, they introduced the Strong Hearts on this one.
That's right. I saw that and I didn't watch it.
So, but let's go from top to bottom throughout the whole show. It started out with Mance Warner giving a message to Jimmy Havoc.
Oh, this is a highly underrated feud that everyone should pay attention to.
Yeah, but this time
enjoyed this.
He's asking a no rope barbed wire match. Mm-hmm. So that means the ropes around the ring are going to be removed and replaced with barbed wires. Classic ECW stuff. So this is going to be... we've been seeing this long-term feud between both Warner and Havoc for who knows how long. But the one thing he can't stand is knowing that he has Priscilla Kelly always helping him. But we'll see what she's going to do in this one. Mm-hmm. If she's crazy enough to either go through or under the freaking barbed wires. Because I don't want to get caught in this one. Then it started out with an interesting concept match. Filthy Tom Lawler shows up, saying that he's going to face the greatest Von Erich ever.
Oh.
And he called out the son of Lance Von Erich, Rip Von Erich. Now, if you guys don't know the story about the Von Erichs, there was a backlash years ago with the Von Erichs that they had.
Yeah.
This guy named Lance Von Erich was not really a true Von Erich.
Oh, yeah, he was only a name.
So basically, the comments was like, but Lance Von Erich wasn't a real Von Erich. But he, the way it was going with the story, Lawler is trying to embarrass them or just, draw attention to them. This was like a how do I say, a Brit match or something?
Yeah. Just
to hurt the Von Erich name. And of course, Lawler took the victory on this one. But here comes the Von Erichs, had enough of Lawler's crap. Right when they were taking them out, here comes those male cheerleaders we know back in WWE, the Spirit Squad.
Oh, shit.
So it appears that the Spirit Squad aligned themselves with Tom Lawler.
Okay.
So, if it is, then, the Von Erichs need to, how do I say, stable up more, you know? I'm not sure, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'm like, can't believe the Spirit Squad now aligned themselves. A couple of cheerleaders with the MMA guy.
Mm.
Then we had that recap of what happened with the Strong Hearts. If you remember, the Strong Hearts made an appearance in MLW. They asked them a simple question: who they want to face. Shima was about to say it, or he was thinking about it. Here comes Contra Unit attacking them for no apparent reason.
Hail Contra.
Yeah. Then we see a segment between Dynasty. Now, Richard Holiday was talking with Alex Hammerstone about this. Richard Holiday thought they should get Gino Medina to join, the new up-and-comer.
Dynasty?
Yeah.
Ooh.
But here's what happens. Selena De La Renta did not appreciate Richard Holiday talking about him, saying that she has him already grasped up, to join. So, but, of course, the Dynasty are not going to listen to Selena De La Renta, what she had to say. Because they're looking at it as like, you freaking lost your way when you got taken out by Contra Unit. That was the whole point. She's trying to reestablish herself ever since she got put through a table by LA Park accidentally. So basically we still don't know yet about Gino Medina because he's been talking with Conan, he's been talking with Selena. I haven't seen yet if they've been talking with Gino, the Dynasty. Then we had an interview with Davey Boy Smith regarding about the Opera Cup tournament.
Oh yeah, what do we have with that?
Well, right now they threw in one of the matches, semifinal matches. Davey Boy Smith said that he wants to win this one to honor his grandfather, the legendary Stu Hart. If you guys know history, if you don't, Stu Hart was the last Opera Cup tournament winner back in 1948. That's like, what? I'll figure it out.
To be continued.
Yeah. So he was set in a match against Alex Hammerstone. And this was the semifinal round for the Opera Cup tournament. And of course, as always, Dynasty always had each other's backs. And Richard Holiday was right there on his side. And it was a good match because you got two powerhouses right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Alex Hammerstone up close before in Baja Stars. He is a powerhouse. Davey Boy Smith, he is a powerhouse for who knows how long.
Oh, yeah. Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, of course, as always, Richard Holiday tried to interfere, but it wasn't enough to stop Davey Boy Smith. And Davey Boy took the victory on this one. So he's getting a step closer to claim the cup and continue the family honor. And, of course, right at the end of the match, he extended his hand to Alex Hammerstone. But guess who showed up? The salt of the earth himself, MJF. He did not appreciate that Davey Boy Smith extended his hand. Davey Boy Smith shows respect to Alex Hammerstone because he saw how determined he was.
Oh, yeah.
Because, of course, he didn't need the Dynasty to do his work for him.
No.
He can do it himself. I mean, Davey Boy Smith can do it himself, too.
I'd like to see Hammerstone in AEW simply because he's a power guy and they need more power guys.
Yeah, I think he's right now working with MLW, how it's going to go with him with there. Because I remember Mike Camden talked about him before, how he's happy he's part of MLW. And then we see an interview with Brian Pillman. Now, next week, Brian Pillman Jr. is part of the semifinals of the Opera Cup tournament. He's facing Timothy Thatcher. Now, he's also determined to prove himself that he's not just a forgotten legacy. His dad, his history. But once he was talking, he gets interrupted by Injustice member Coda Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys been following, the Injustice faction have been disrespecting the Opera Cup tournament, all this and that, disrespecting Stu Hart. And if I was them, I would keep your mouth shut before you piss off the rest of the Hart family. I wouldn't be surprised if Bret Hart shows up and give them a piece of their mind. Yeah. And then when Coda Brazil was interrupting, we get a message from Contra Unit.
Hell, Contra.
Yeah. So basically, they're still saying the same old thing, that they're conquering the world, all this and that, and that they're ready for Strong Hearts. And I was excited for this match. And then we jump in with the main event. Contra Unit consisted of Simon Gotch, Joseph Samael, and Jacob Fatu versus Strong Hearts, Shima, El Lindemann, and I hope I get this right, Shigeniro Irie. He's one of the newer members from late last year. And he was also in DDT Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was impressed how this match went out, because I saw El Lindemann was getting in the face of Joseph Samael.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was a small guy, but he wasn't afraid.
Right.
He was like showing, like, I'm not afraid of you. But I was hoping for one particular part of the match where you have Jacob Fatu and Shigeniro facing each other, two powerhouses. You know, because these two guys are big dudes, you know? Like, who doesn't love two big dudes trying to beat each other? You know, because you can tell, like, they're like the dominant force within their factions. That's always been that factor we've seen in these type of matches. But we did not see no cheats on this one. Yeah. It turns out Hikaru Kwan is still in Japan. I'm not sure what he's doing, but I'm sure he's probably recruiting more members, as always. But Contra Unit took the victory on this one, with Jacob Fatu picking up the win with that moonsault.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. The Strong Hearts put them over.
Yeah.
I like that.
But MLW ended with Lawler talking about the Von Erichs. He said he has an offer for them. He wants them to put their tag team titles on the line against two of his brand new pupils.
See, I missed something there. When did Lawler and the Von Erichs stop being tight?
I think it happened when, ever since the Contra Unit kind of given that offer to one of the Von Erichs.
Oh.
Because here's the thing, Lawler has been very vocal about how upset he was he lost the title to Von Erich, to the Contra Unit. And I think he felt like it's disrespectful that they're taking the title from, that they're getting a title shot, but it's like, it's besides the point. They're trying to find a way to take the title away from Contra Unit.
Okay.
That was the whole point for them. But once, Lawler revealed himself that he was on to attack Ross Von Erich and all this and that, later they talked to their dad, who tell them that it's time for them to break away from him. You know, that type of thing. So, but now it looks like the Von Erichs are now in a feud against Lawler, and of course he did say his brand new pupils, and my assumption is the Spirit Squad. You know, because he's forming a brand new team. If you guys haven't followed, Tom Lawler had a team of his own called the Filthy Team, and Simon Gotch was one of those guys. Was part of that team. I forgot who was the third guy. But we will keep an update on that. See where they're going to go with this one with Contra Unit. Because I know they're determined they want to get all the gold. Get the tag team titles, get the middleweight title, and all this and that. And we are going to continue more with the Opera Cup Tournament semifinal, where we have next week.
Any more news with their women's title? I mean, women's division? I remember them announcing it.
Well, I know they introduced Priscilla Kelly and Zeta Zhang, but they were the first two so far. But I think they're still scouting for more.
Oh, okay, cool.
You got to remember, these are the first two.
Oh, okay.
They need more.
Yeah.
It's because if you recall, there's still other women that are appearing in other promotions.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like MLW, NWA, AEW, and recently WWE just gained another high-profile wrestler.
And then you got the shuffle going on with the Yoshis and Bushi Road and shit.
Oh yeah, that too. But yeah, we'll continue more with MLW the following week. All right, Nico. You've been going to the Fist Combat shows.
Oh yeah.
So let's before we jump into the upcoming event, give your insight about Fist Combat.
Fist Combat, where you go to get fisted. Nah, I'm joking. But basically at Fist Combat, I've been really enjoying the promotion. It's a San Diego-based promotion, originally done at Joltin' Joe's, and Pure Platinum. If you're familiar with San Diego, or if you're not from San Diego, that's basically where it's at. Where is it? Up north. Not really up north, but north from where we're at right now. And they have a South Bay location in the industrial area of Chula Vista.
Not that far where I live.
Yeah, and it's more of a hardcore style of wrestling. It has a lot of flippy stuff, some technical, a lot of bruisers. Actually, a lot of bruisers and a lot of flippy guys in it. It's made me want to go back and their upcoming show, January 24th. It's going to be an all cage match event. Check that out. Look it up. I don't have
Yeah, the promoter, we interviewed him not too long ago.
Yeah.
Mikey Gordon. But he's known as Dirty Ron McDonald.
Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, think of him as Ronald McDonald's crack cousin. Yeah.
That's all juiced up.
So, but what are the matches for this one?
The matches will be so far they have for the Fist Combat Tag Team Champions, the Wolf Zaddies. Okay.
Wolf Daddies.
The Wolf. Well, there's a Z right there.
All right.
The Wolf Daddies or the Wolf Zaddies versus Anthony Idol and Jerry Gigolo. Jerry Gigolo is my new favorite wrestler right now. He's very interesting, very unorthodox. For those of you who don't know, he's a combination of Rick Rude and Goldust. Think about that. And then for the Get Fisted TV title, also a cage match. They're all cage matches for this night. It's going to be Ryan Kidd versus Dylan Kyle Cox. And the main event will be for the Triple X champion, a hardcore cage match, which will be Dirty Ron McDonald defending it against T-Rex. Is that how you say it? I believe.
Was it?
T-Rex.
Oh no, T-Rex.
Oh, T-Rex. All right.
I've seen him once before.
Awesome. But there will be also a few more matches. What's it called? Announced.
Yeah. So if you guys can follow this particular promotion on Facebook or any part of their social medias, either Instagram or Twitter, you know, you be following them around. So if you live in the San Diego area, they're everywhere. You know, like they don't stick to the same location, or like you said, they either were Pure Platinum or this industrial area close by to where I live. But he did announce that they were planning to do some shows in Vegas, right?
Oh yeah, he already has them booked. They're going to be in Vegas in February.
So, anything. So yeah. Also, speaking of independence, Ground Zero are having their next event on the 18th of this month down at the Imperial Beach, not that far where we're at.
Yeah. Check that out.
Yeah. So it's going to be at the at this recreational park area, not that far from a high school.
Outside?
So, inside.
Oh, okay.
It's like a recreational center.
Oh, okay.
So here's the matches they're going to have for Ground Zero. For the Ground Zero championship match, Andy Brown versus my boy, the Lucha Redneck, aka resident redneck, Hunter Freeman. I'm hopefully I can catch this match. And then we have Ray Rosas versus Jesse James, a triple threat match. EJ Sparks versus Adrian Quest versus Drew Diz. We have a tag team match with the Millennials, Brandon and Danny Devine versus Matt Gaddafi and Damian Drake. Hopefully I got it right. Then we have a 6-man tag. Mike Camden teaming up with Vinny Waskell and Alonso versus Ruby Rays, Dom, Kubrick, and Hyde.
Ooh.
And then we got B-Boy versus Vipress. Then we have a tag team match. Agents of Chaos, R3 and Evans Daniels versus my boys, 8-Bit Lit, Hops, and J2. And I think that's pretty much it. If you guys want to know ticket prices, right now they're still available for the GA tickets. The first and second row are sold out. So you can still follow these guys on any social media, either Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. They'll always have their announced matches right there too. So you can still catch them. They have all the information there if you want to see where their events are taking place. Fist Combat has the same thing too.
Yes.
And the final thing, this Sunday, Level Up is going to have another event called Second Gear. Still don't know the card yet because if you know B-Boy, he runs the thing, he makes the matches. But I am aware who's going to be there. If you guys don't know about Level Up, they are actually a wrestling school. Mm-hmm. And they just announced 2 of their students are going to make their debut.
Ooh.
I'm kind of interesting to see where they're going to go with these 2 new guys. You know, because they're still developing their technique, their style, and all this other stuff. You know? And I appreciate going to those because I'm friends with some of those guys there. So, but I also want to tell you something I haven't got the chance to talk to you about. I'm doing another thing for this channel.
Yes.
Another YouTube segment called DWZ at the wrestling events.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it's kind of like a little bit of vlogging, a little bit watching the matches.
Oh, okay.
You know, and throwing a bit of the music stuff with the matches too.
Yes.
You know, so I'm going to try to keep everything separate, you know.
Oh, okay.
Instead of putting the match highlights on this channel.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So that way you get to see me, you know, enjoying the matches.
Doesn't hurt to have a little bit more on the channel.
Yeah. So basically, it will be on this channel, but a different segment of it.
Yeah.
So we're calling it DWZ at the wrestling events. So it either could be the Level Up Showcase, or Fist Combat, or Ground Zero, or hopefully in the future we get to see New Japan, or AEW, not WWE.
I mean, if WWE's going to be in town, I'll check it out.
Or NXT.
Very good. It's all under the same
So
umbrella.
if let's say either Nico and I are out of town and there's a wrestling event,
Yeah.
we can catch those 2.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so we'll put that on this channel, but on a different segment. So keep an eye on that one. I will upload that one possibly the following day because it takes at night. So stay tuned for that. So on behalf of myself, J-Rod,
Nico.
we are Deleted WrestleZone, so we must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye and have a nice day. Bang.